Hello bros and welcome to SFX0 Bro 5 Production, and next part the Sakura Alien 2. So let's jump in where we left off by Hiyori actually attempting to feed me. I think she actually succeeds too. Hiyori pinches a particular plump shrimp between her chopsticks and holds it up to my mouth. I look askance, my lips pursed. I'm not a little kid. I'm more than capable of feeding myself, you know. I know that, but I thought we have more fun this way. Plus, you look so wary, Harry. I want to make things as easy for you as possible. I'm not so wary I can't operate a pair of chopsticks. It's actually nearly impossible to operate chopsticks. I mean, if I ever gonna use chopsticks, I would probably use them as a dagger to pierce the food I am attempting to actually eat. Well, too bad for you. Your pokes her tongue out teasingly. You're going to eat your lunch like this, mister, and you're going to enjoy it. That's what I decreed. Is this the price I have to pay for eating your lunch? Yes, it is. Hope it's not too steep a toll. It's fine. It's a bit embarrassing, but it should be alright. It's not like there's anybody else here to judge us. Wouldn't it be alright if there were somebody else here? If it was Ina, I don't think there'd be any issue. But I'm not being on a public display of affection. I know, you can be so aloof at times. It's amazing you're willing to let me feed you at all. You never would have been so plain even a few months prior. You changed, Haru. For the better, I hope. That should go without saying. I always thought you were cute, but you've grown even cuter since Ina appeared. She softened you up an awful lot. I'd best be careful. If I get any softer, I might turn into slime. Being reincarnated as a slime doesn't sound all that bad. Think of all the lewd things you could do with newborn young girls. Isn't there like an anime or something that say I was reincarnated as a slime? I think there is. I saw something about it. Let's see. From what I know, there's a demon lord in it. This person was reincarnated as slime. And for what I know, there's only one woman that is in the main cast. But I have never watched it. I'm just saying what I know or believe I know. Being reincarnated as slime is yeah, I read that. As if I care about such things. Nice guy. You're countered with a teasing smile. Then why do you own so many lurid magazines? What do you know about my magazines? More than you might think. Ina told me all about them, and she not want to skimp on the details. I had no idea you were interested in pet play, Haru. Or, hey, Ori, I'm hungry. Are you going to feed me, or are you going to torture me by waving that shrimp in front of my mouth? Oh yes, I apologize. Must have gotten carried away. So yeah. I open my mouth obviously as per Yuri's request, and she drops the shrimp into it. I chew on the shrimp, savoring it. It tastes just as good as it looks. Crunchy on the outside, juicy with it. But that is to be expected when it comes to Hiyori's cooking. I actually like food that is smoked, so it keeps its raw texture. I mean, I oftenly buy smoked bacon, and I have no obligations about sometimes actually eating the package without frying it or anything. But I have actually also rolled bacon up into rolls and then fried it a little. And that makes it actually crunchy on the inside, but have its raw textures on the inside. I mean, crunchy on the outside and raw texture on the inside, which does pretty much is one of the best things. Though it doesn't work enough for actually having it as a stable food source, because bacon, considering the inflation of all the prices around the earth, bacon is very expensive now. Just yeah, we read that. She might act like it, but she's a domestic goddess. Yours food is to die for. Whether she makes fried shrimp, rolled egg omelets, or my personal favorite, hot pot. I could eat her cooking for 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, 360 days a year, and I wouldn't get tired of it. Doesn't he mean 366? Well, 65 usually. So what do you think? Do you like it? Of course I like it, you made it. Can you keep them coming? Of course. Your beams are relieved. I'm happy to hear that. Here you go, Haru. You refused me bits and pieces from a lunchbox. Here are fried shrimp, there's some seaweed salad, chased down by a fluffy morsel of rolled egg omelette, which I eat with appreciation. Yuri's food is so satisfying, it helps me forget, if only for a few moments, Professor Sakai's threats. And everything else I did with Professor Sakai too. Once I've eaten my fill and Hiyori set both her chopsticks and her lunchbox aside, my anxiety returns in full force. I have forgotten what we discussed in her office course, I haven't. It's waiting on me more heavily than ever before. So, Hiyori looks at me, her eyes cloudy with concern. What happened, Haru? You said you had a talk with Professor Sakai. That's right. I inhaled deeply, fingers resting upon my thighs in an attempt to settle my thoughts. I have no choice but to come clean. Yours food was a pleasant diversion, but I need to get down to business. I tell you about Professor Sakai's threats, and what I hope is a measured manner. I don't want to make my own upset to apparent, not when it's a situation is already so volatile. I hate to upset Hiyori more than is necessary. It takes me about 2 minutes to deliver an abridged version of what Professor Sakai told me, but this feels like 2 minutes too many. I feel exhausted when I'm finally finished. Talking about it aloud makes Professor Sakai's threats feel realer somehow than they did back in her office. It's pretty unnerving. Oh my. You gasped once I'm finished and pressed her hand to her chest. That does sound serious. Doesn't it just? I groaned. I'd like to say I can't believe it, but I can. Professor Sakai is a serious woman. It sounds like she's got her sights set on our club. I don't know why, but she seems very serious of our activities, and in particular. Did she single Ina out in any way? No, but she didn't need to. I could explorate as much given she asked me to report back on the astronomy club's members. Our club doesn't have any members other than myself, you, and Ina. Who would be suspicious of really were it not for Ina? She's not an officially registered student at the university unlike us. Professor Sky has to be talking about her. Then do you think Professor Sky suspects something about Ina's true identity? That's what I'm worried about. We don't know anything about Professor Sky really. Her arrival was unannounced and totally unexpected. I don't want to sound like veering into conspiracy territory, but I'm doubtful she has a real professor at all. She seems to know what she's talking about during her lectures, but that could be a camouflage. What if she is working for the government? Somebody might be giving her a tip, and now she's come here looking for proof that extraterrestrials exist. If she digs up any dirt on Ina, she might get sent away to a facility. Do you think she means to operate on Ina? I have no idea, but isn't that what the government always does in movies? There's only movies though. I know, but they say life emanates art for a reason. An unpleasant image flashes through my mind of a euthanized Ina tied to an operating table battered beneath a volley of harsh bright lights. A surgeon looms over her, their face obscured by a surgical mask, gripping a scalpel in hand. The thought is so hard it makes my physically cringe. Yours own thoughts must have wandered a similar direction of my own, because the color fades from her cheeks. Wincing, she reaches out and takes my hand in hers. There is a chance, I suppose, that Professor Kai might be investigating Ina, but that doesn't have any solid proof that she's an alien. If she did, she wouldn't have asked you for information. She can't take Ina away on suspicious claims. We're alright for the moment. For the moment, yeah, but I'm still worried. I don't want to be expelled, but if that's what it takes to protect Ina, then I grit my teeth together. I will have to endure that when the time comes. Do you think Professor Sky will make good on her threat? I have no doubt about that. That sounds awfully serious. I'm in quite the pickle. But safety is more important than any of that. I can't risk her being hurt, and so to that end, I think we should suspend the astronomy club's activities for the next week. We tell Ina to keep away from the campus too. Professor Sky can't keep tabs on her if she's not around. That might be a bad idea, but wouldn't that make Professor Sakai more suspicious of us, not less? Keeping Ina away from the campus would make it obvious that we have something to hide. You're right about that, of course. In my fervor to protect Ina, I hadn't considered that angle. Professor Sakai will be scrutinizing us closely. We can't afford to do anything that makes her more suspicious than she is already. That's unfortunate, but in that case, I guess we should continue holding our club meeting like we always have. Wouldn't that be our best option? I'm not sure. We have to think about it, I suppose. Why do you try discussing matters with Ina tonight? I'm sure she have an opinion on all this too. That's a good point. I tell her to be careful. What about you, Hiyori? Will you talk to her with me? I would love to, but I can't. Not tonight. My parents are coming over to see me. This should take up quite a bit of time. They are? I frowned. You didn't mentioning that this morning. I didn't know about it this morning. They called me about half an hour ago at the start of lunch break. It was all very sudden. They said they had something important to tell me. I wonder what it could be about. Actually, if she actually is a witch girl? There could potentially be an arranged marriage. Hopefully not. No? I wonder too. That sounds serious. I'm sure it'd be fine though. Knowing my parents, they probably want to ask me whether I found a partner yet, or if I'm planning on giving them grandchildren anytime soon. My mother is always harping on about that. She's so intense. Hero shakes her head and smiles. I have to go home early today. Club activities will have to be put on hold regardless of what Professor Sakai might think. I hope you don't mind. No, it's fine. This might be a bone actually. I give me some time to get everything straight. That's what I was thinking. Hero takes my hand once more and gives me it a comforting squeeze. I know you must be anxious, Haru, I don't but don't worry. No matter what happens, I'll always be here for you and Ina too. You're both precious to me, and I won't let any harm befall you. If you if ever you need a place to turn to, you can come to me. I never abandon you, I promise. Once lunch is over, I keep busy attending my next handful of lectures. My day wraps up about around 1600, and rather than reviewing the day notes in the library like I often do, I instead opt to meet Ina at the bakery after her shift ends. Knowing Ina, she'd probably be planning to head on over to the astronomy club after work, but that's off the table for now. Professor Sky investigation has cold my passion towards our club activities, and in any case, Hayori won't be around to oversee things. I wonder what it is exactly that her parents want to discuss with her. Could it be something serious? Sounds a bit ominous, them coming over on such short notice, but perhaps this really is nothing more than a standard family get-together. I think your parents have ample cash to splash around. I doubt people like that think of anything of taking an unplanned trip to Tokyo. My parents, meanwhile, live out on the sticks, and they're not very wealthy. They've been to Tokyo about 3 times in their lives, and they definitely don't have the change to spare to pay me a visit at the drop of a hat. It's easy to forget this, given how friendly Yuri is, but she is very privileged. She and I could come from more different backgrounds. That's beside the point, though. I'm getting sidetracked. I leave the university campus by messenger bag slung over my shoulder and meander over to the bakery where Ina works. I get there about 15 minutes before the shift ends, and I catch her in the midst of dealing with a customer. Well, that's one way to draw in customers. I mean, an outfit that would draw just any customer in. Even though that doesn't like bread or any bakeries at all. But that was all for Sakura Alien 2 this time. That's Hit See you next time. Profile!